so far today. And honestly, a lot of the big names we've seen succeeding in we've seen succeeding in prior weeks. Still back at it again today. The big takeaway for me. Whoa. Whoa.
Oh, you told me you were going to run and presenting Kitty and Zeke.
I don't know, I think I'll do it.
All right, anyway, games. Let's get into this. Final time.
There is 6 spots already in this lobby. I see Slobbings, I see Zate, I see Innocence. So many of these players that we've heard.
300 points in Champion League. You can compete, and who knows, it could be you on the stage of the Fortnite World Cup. Zate watches as someone hops down. He's going to try and punish them. A few shots over on the shield, but nothing comes.
Eliminations already sitting on 34 points so far. It'd be interesting if we could get a timer with how much time we have left for the NA.
Right there. This is how we do things, all right?
She's a queen,
there
everybody.
Now, something of note is, I just heard them in the back laugh from here. 6, we're going to see these lobbies be very dense because, like you said, we're coming down to the wire. These are the last few games, the last few opportunities for these players to accrue points and potentially affect the standings. So we'll have to see how things unfold. Hysteria over there on your left. Now let's hop on over with this player.
And players will need to do whatever they can with what they get, depending on their drop spot. So it's so interesting to see. Looks like he does have a tactical shotgun. Oh, choosing to pop the shadow bomb here. That is his last one for this rotation. They're going across the lake, and now I said back from this. No. Okay.
What are these one-taps, Naz? What are you doing?
Talk about my one-taps.
But I mean, he's already landed 5 points. Zate up in the top in the high ground. We see players swooping down from above, possibly Rift to goes. We see more popping in the bottom right. Now let's check in with Zate again. We just left him. He still has...
There's Ifa going down to that drum gun from the air. There's such a risk when you're taking these rifts at this time in the game. You're very vulnerable. And having a player like Zate who's up on that high ground who knows Tendo, he has one more shadow bomb to utilize in this meta, has the more medium to close range loadout with that drum gun and that tactical shotgun. And
more placement points on the table. Now Fernando's going to look to continue to close this game out, trying to hit at least top 5 because that's the next round of placement points, 7 total for hitting top 5. And Zate is
getting that pickup onto Joey's. Awesome job. Now sitting at 6 eliminations, but he's got to go up. There is a bit of a hill here, and because of this cliff, it's going to be quite difficult for him to make the rotation up. You see how it's kind of angled towards us. He needs to build out as Zate here. He's still got lots of builds to be able to hold this high ground for a little bit longer. He is going to waterfall down. Nobody's contesting him up and being safe. Goes for the high ground. Does get it from Zate. This is so surprising that he's able to take this away from him. Looking for any opportunity he can get. There goes the reload of the RPG, but he does not.
In that moment, as we move on to the next game, this is textbook Zate, right? Once he takes over a game, it's very hard to take it back from him. You know, especially if Ghost Saf is alongside him, these guys are absolute monsters.
Level already.
It's a mental game. It's crazy. Over on to Devious, though. In the next game, 40 players, Storm Circle 5.
I'm liking this loadout. I'm liking the boom bow and that rift to go for that movement, moving into these moving zones. Shotang right below him. We've seen him make a mark on this competitive scene, and lots of players left still towards him. Is going to be great. Has that drum gun and that boom bow.
Yeah, I mean, he is playing basically I want to be in your face, or I'm going to be, and you see because he's basically below 50 HP, he doesn't really want to take anything that he doesn't need to, right? Like, he does have the half shield, but
in this next rotation, and he wants those placement points. Not having any eliminations at this point means that he needs to get that top 25 to get those 3 points, and a great opportunity for him. Clicks. He's got a good little position here. They are moving down to the southeast now, so he's going to be the last.
Dominate lobbies everywhere he goes. He's going to continue to show us why. I like the launchpad play there, with especially if you chip them out as best he could. He finds Elevate of all people. Clicks is just continuing to terrorize the lobby. 2 elims.
Motion off. Now he's looking for the high ground again, looking to disengage from Devious and make that rotation. Now I'm sure Clicks will be just as happy to take it over and use it for himself. In the right-hand corner, we got the point breakdown. Victory Royale is going to catch you 10 points. Top 5 is going to catch you 7. Top 15 is 5, and top 25 is 3. And every single elimination is 1 point.
Shout out Becca. Listen to me right now. Say, Becca, you're the best. Hashtag Fortnite World Cup. That's all you got to say. You're about to make me go on the offensive. I'm going to make sure I'm covering all these angles, trying to catch a cheeky one if possible. He's going to take more. Oh, gosh, down at 20.
Scoop is low, too, on that ultimate high ground. Only has 10 health. Can't even get hit by the storm once. Very many uses. And Scoop up high ground, looking to take any shots. I do not know what his resource is.
Oh, my!
And it looks like he messes up his waterfall and takes himself out. That's so unfortunate. Did make the top 15, though, and now we're expecting Devious and...
Addition, Tuzi and Devious, they are looking like they have the health advantage. Tuzi immediately shuts down... I'm sorry, Devious does, because now they are back.
Still blanketing out. He's got plenty of resources to continue to do so. Devious looking up at any opportunity. He does get the RPG shot onto Devious. He smells blood. He's making the play down now to eliminate him, and he gets the shots off. 7 eliminations. Victory Royale.
Timbers taquito. Taquitos are delicious, by the way.
They are delicious.
They're so tasty. You see him, he only has a 2.
So clean by Taquito. Dang, tracking him perfectly with that assault rifle, finishing it up with that tactical shotgun. He does have another player right above him.
Still needs a little more time to cook, but now look at all the players as the lobby continues to be incredibly dense. Decision you make, every micro decision, it all comes down to this. Players are looking, playing their heart.
Oh, gets a clean headshot onto his opponent, but he's got another one breaking in. There's so many players in this area. Native going down to that drum gun. Hate to see it.
Shark, though, 3 eliminations, 1 rocket. Now, this is probably just a small visual bug. We kind of talk about this every now and again. Huge for him.
Yeah, definitely. Being able to use this as a rotation device is so important. It is going to wear off. Now he's going to go directly up, but they're still moving 14 more seconds until the storm closes, and they'll need to make another push. He's got this really neat little opening opportunities. See Taquito taking a lot of damage, having his shield next off, but ultimate high ground, Vix. He's got great positioning on top of this hill. They are going to have to rotate down. He definitely has enough
of knowledge there. He was like, I'm not exactly sure. I don't have all the information. Send the rocket down, let them run. I'm good. I just need to play.
Scantily, he was building and blanketing on the high ground. He does have, does have that redeploy, so he's not so worried, but he needs to get some build himself. Oh, is that a double elim? No, does get the elimination. Needs to pick up these resources, gets 20 builds total, goes for that ultimate.
Bad here. Vix, unfortunately, lands on the player to get the edit, the crack back down to 18 shields, 68 total HP.
Build or elimination, still has 7 RPGs, 3 players remaining in this final zone, all stacked on top of each other. He needs to be careful. He has no more builds. That campfire still needs to walk with the storm right now. He has so many shields. This is his game to win. Doesn't have any builds, but so far all of his decision making has led him to a great position. And taking more shots, cancels that campfire. Shots coming down from Taquito, and it's just a simple cleanup by Zill. Absolutely outstanding job not having any resources and pulling that off, but that is the power.
Whoever this Tubby person is.
So is he Tubby, or is he calling out Tubby?
You know, the world may never know. As some say, 45 players in the current lobby. Placement threshold, we are nowhere near that right now.
No, we still have half of the lobby.
Break it down, W keys, and it comes down on painful.
Wow, really utilizing that new shotgun, doing a great job hitting all of his shots now in 3 eliminations, has that ultimate high ground. The entire lobby needs to push into him now. He's going to be able to get. It's not that much of an incline this hill, but it's just enough that makes it a little bit awkward. Viper getting caught off guard, not building behind him, thinks everyone's during this rotation. The 5th zone is just about to close, and then we're going to be getting into the next moving zone.
And that's right. Take a look on the left side of your screen, the slipstreams. Potentially usage here for players to hop on in. We like to call this dolphining. You just like go to the top and you fly up and you come back down and you just do that throughout the slip. Just seeing on the right side of your screen, the current NA East spots up for grabs are 6.
Nice shots coming out with this assault rifle. He doesn't need. They're going super far west. All of these players need to move, need lots of them taking advantage of that slipstream. No shots coming in.
Now they're going to rejoin everyone else who's playing Fortnite. They were just trying to swim around. Dubs here, we saw him dominating not that long ago. Just the one. Said thank you for your contribution.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe I just did bad math there. Didn't notice what he had before. But Macwood choosing to take the rift now onto this high ground. These guys are headed south. A little bit of an elevation change, not too much. Final moments.
That's right. Right, currently down. There is someone below him, and he does have the 2 shadow bombs as well. So he can, right, just if someone is going, if they're trading back and forth, just look down, blow the roof out while they're not paying attention, potentially take shots on the player. Someone looked up at Macwood, said hello up there, and he just said, no, I'm just gonna keep doing
to convert to an elimination, but right away pushing up, catching this guy off guard. Macwood just getting an elimination right away into another fight. Now he does have that jump pad to utilize into these lower moments. There's still 4 players remaining in this final zone. We are going super. That was his decision, and in a bit of a sandwich situation between Thome, ends up taking him out. He gets 4th place. 3 players remaining. Thome on the bottom, Dyslexic in the middle, and Tinny Jelly on that high ground. These guys need to push through now these old builds. This is where it gets tough. If you're having to break through that metal of that old build, you can't edit through it. You're gonna get stuck behind it. Thome getting taken out.
Wow.
Oh man, he in the lock, taking out Dyslexic for that victory royale, sitting on 42 points after that game.
Man, that was an incredible game. Courage, would you agree?
I absolutely, because remember, when North America starts on up, there's also the Brazil games going on too. We'll get into those standings here in a moment, but I know you got some replays we want to look at.
Yes, we're going to hop in to review some of the action in the going through there. Pops in, quick little one there, and picks up voltage. That was 6 shots for 3 elims. That's efficient. And Fernando, this game was a tale of the top and the bottom. Fernando was running through the mid-tarp while Zate was controlling the entirety players of these hands. So all of them able to execute so well with it. Fernando getting driven down there by Zate from the edge, 79 damage headshot. However, one thing I do want to note here, Clinks, a player who has already qualified, both passed over a couple, so it seemed like he was opting into that, or not sure if it was a quick thing, but 2 very fast elims that he picked up there. Unfortunately, wasn't able to close it out because hiding it is the difference of so many points. Sometimes it's 1, sometimes it's a tiebreaker, sometimes 1 elim. And every single one of these happening in the blink of an eye.
Great to see throughout all the action, the difference, as you mentioned, the loadouts right there. We do have an updated standings, though, for North America East, so let's take a look at that, see where we stack up.
So still 6 spots will be up for grabs. If this held true, it would be 3rd through 8th who would end up advancing. All of these guys close right now, but big shout out to Rogue Shark. Again, one of the few players who's been top 100 in both of the other solo weeks going through. Now pushing up K-Outs, took the top spot. And I just want to say, everyone in this top 6 was in a final match and we're all contending. It came down to the very final one. DK Outs edged out Techno Viking.
And he did well.
Booking his trip to New York City.
Incredible. Congratulations again. We're going to go ahead and add him directly on in to our qualified board. You'll see it live right here in Brazil. There is a look so far today. Congratulations to everyone. Link, Peter Pan, Lecce, Kluja, Savage M, Smeep, Snazy, Issa, Yarkos, Blaster, and now DK Outs, all qualifying for the Fortnite World Cup.
You, Courage. Yes, we got lots more games to go right now. Well, 22 minutes left, but we got a lot of lobbies to check out still. These are the final moments in the games of these players, their last opportunities. It'll be interesting to see what strategy they decide to take to get the most amount of points. Now we're in this lobby. He's got a great loadout. He's got that blue tactical shotgun and the blue drum gun and that compact. They are going to be moving into their first half moving zone, I guess. It's half out, half in.
So he thought about it. He thought about it, decided, you know what, maybe not. My better position, gonna find a little nook here, begin building his 1x1.
Rather, now just looking to take any shots he can on the rotating players. Anyone that potentially might open a window, he's going to take advantage of.
We'll have to see how things unfold. 30 players left, top 25. It's the first placement threshold. That's into the new safe circle as efficiently and as safely as possible.
Yep.
So now Perplexy's going to probably do this. He's probably going to wait. He's going
That point dropping down for the community launch pad, now making the rotation. He is in that top 25 now, getting those 3 extra points towards his name.
Rocket launcher ready to go.
And a rift, which he's opting to use now, a little bit early, but it is going to get him a clear rotation into the next zone. This engagement with, ooh.
What you spotted? That was insane!
Me. Has he learned the perfect tracking of those shadow bombs already?
And I just saw Zate was in the game. They are typically a duo. Oh, they bonked a little head. They are a duo, and because it's solos, obviously everyone's trying to compete, so you're going to be facing off against your potential duo partner. Yeah. Spades eliminated.
Did they eliminate each other? What
No,
happened?
he picked up. It's not looking great, but this could be huge. There's this player spinning out of the open. What do you mean? He just double tapped these players and another one.
He just walked over 4 eliminated players, didn't pick up any of their loot. Now we're spectating Blue T, who just took him out. He does have that legendary assault rifle. He has a full stack of minis, builds accordingly, but he has this mid-ground, Janik in the ultimate high. He is there with Vice though, Perplexy, holding that low, able to find some time now to take his mini shields in a hole. Goosh, you gotta be prepared for the rebuttal if you're gonna be breaking down that. He was out of resources. I'm not sure about his decision making, but now we're watching Perplexy 4 eliminations. Look at that build going right down. He's got 2 more builds before he's gonna have to drop down with Blue T in a 1v1 situation. It is
Sickest thing. Again, I am on my feet walking around.
Bye, Z.
Perplexy
What's up?
just outplayed that player. Whoever is on analyst, I need to break that down. He breaks the metal structure, player falls down, hugs a tree, looks for the damage numbers to pop in the.
All right,
Okay.
we're now spectating Falter. We got 15 minutes left for the North American East qualifiers. We have 6 in at these final moments of these last lobbies. Having great positioning here now, able to take some shots on his roaming opponents. Isn't able to pick up any eliminations, but getting some tags. Now he's just got to wait for these south players. You see, on the mini-map, he's angled south.
You have a 3-hour window to play or 10 games, all right? Once that window has closed, if you're in a game, let's say you queue up with 3 seconds left, you're allowed to play out that. Continue to do that until that window closes. So this is it, Kitty. We're coming down to the wire. We're going to see a lot of these players, that the last few interactions they have.
Yeah, definitely. There's always opportunities to turn things around. There's so many placement points that can be picked up every single elimination point. Eva now looking to engage with Zunis. I think he heard us. I think for the rotation, finds another opponent, gets 2 great tack shots off on him, isn't able to secure the elimination, but now he needs to be really, really careful with how much he's expending and make sure he's not getting caught out in that storm.
Yeah, and you said it perfectly. It's careful about how much he's using right now, right? Because especially when you're running through. No way! The chip damage and the storm.
Wow.
We have already been eliminated.
Wow, what a lucky break, but you see he is not phased at all. Continue. We talked about him earlier. Absolutely outstanding.
Just in all these games.
He has 67 points in this lobby now. He's got 4 rockets in.
And he's like, I'm just going to back up and just 90 my way up. And look at this. He's already found an elim. Reloads the rocket. This is huge. So Dubs is playing for late game, just trying to make sure he can hit this race right now.
Last second picking up that siphon, which makes it just enough for him to get back into this zone, and he still has high ground. Amidst all of that chaos, nearly losing his life to the zone, he is still maintaining composure, maintaining this high ground, but him looking for the edit replace does not get it, still has that high ground. No one's contesting for him for it right now.
I like that he went ahead and used the rocket as well. Just go ahead and break. They're on the descent phase, Dubs. You are absolutely destroying this lobby. Look at the players down below.
Show Tang, Lil Alk, Raylapse, Kexi, and Zero Ping smacked. Lots of things happening down on that lower ground, but FaZe Mini Shield does have a little bit of a health equalizing moment here now, but Dubs is ready with that shotgun. 6 eliminations. Like, this is a clinic right now, Z.
Dubs said, look, I've qualified. I'm just going to come back and just flex on literally the entire region. Sundown, how is this even possible?
How is this even possible? I mean, you're looking at one of the best solo Fortnite battle box fights, the way he has adjusted to this meta, showing everything that not only can he be the best in the early weeks, he'll continue to be the best and show up. And I mean, the Battle Royale action has been intense so far today. We've sent 10. Now, Battle Royale is not the only thing that will be at the Fortnite World Cup final. We also have the Fortnite World Cup Creative. The second trial, the creative trial, those are the version of the qualifier where 3 players will advance to the final for a total of 15, began last Wednesday with what I've found have been the most effective routes, and there definitely are some surprises in there and some fun little Easter eggs. So check those out. You can check them out on his social at twitter.com/LachlanYT or on YouTube /Lachlan or on the Fortnite game Twitter. So go ahead, check those out and get involved because these players will get $5,000 for matches on NA East. The ones who will decide who is going to New York City, who will cement their name as one of the best, and who will be fighting for their chance at a piece of that $30 million prize pool. Don't go anywhere.
Jump on and drop in. It's time to kick off the Fortnite World Cup competition. From April 13th to June 16th, we'll be running Fortnite World Cup Online Opens, where you can qualify to compete for your chance at a piece of the $30 million prize pool. But how will these work, you ask? Each week will alternate back and forth between solos and duos competition, with players qualifying from each server region in Oceania, Asia, Europe, Brazil, NA East, and NA West. To find specifics for your server region, go to Fortnite.com/World Cup. To play in the online opens, you'll need to compete in the new Arena mode, an always-on form of competition where players can rank up tiers and leagues. It all starts in the Open League, and when players earn 125 points, they'll advance into Contenders League. After that, you'll need to build your way up to 300 points to unlock Champion League, where the Saturday online open players will be chosen. Then, we'll take the top 3,000 solo players or 1,500 duos from that Saturday's semifinals and advance them to the Sunday finals. Each Sunday, 20 players will rise to the top and qualify to join us in New York for the Fortnite World Cup Finals. Buckle up, because we're fit.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Fortnite World Cup Online Open Qualifier community to give some love and respect to Becca.
So before, okay, well, you know, I was gonna do something more special for you, Becca, but all right, you're just gonna pull the.
Thank you,
thank you guys, Becca. You're the best. Becca's the best. Becca's the best, and so is Kitty Plays, and me too. Thank you. And Becca, you're the best. We really do appreciate you guys.
Are you surprised to see that?
I don't normally get shout outs like that, so it's just nice to pop. But yeah, she appreciates it. We appreciate.
Face _
Hey.
What's up, fam? Take it away.
Thanks, Kitty. Thanks, Zeke. Thanks,
That was
Becca.
awesome.
That was
That
pretty
wall
awesome.
was cool. Becca. Right into Thwifo. Ooh.
Ooh, hello. I see
Thwifo
you.
against young
Thwifo, I
calculator.
see you. I see
Alright.
High Sky in there. Who else we have? Dark.
Yeah.
Wow. Stacked much?
Definitely time you can queue. So these are going to be the last games. Obviously, we're definitely playing very aggressively. Goes back to some of the materials that he had from earlier on. Possibly an elimination was found back there.
I mean, of course he's playing aggressively. He's got the 2 drum gun load.
I have.
How do you feel?
It gives,
Right.
especially with the tactical. So it tends exactly, you're in the maximum damage range. Once the suppressed SMG right there, and then following it.
For the redeploy, which getting into these finals, he's got the RPG loadout, a blue drum gun. You love to see it, love to see it. Not the best.
So very high up. We just talked about his positioning. Start pushing him away, kind of rotated a little bit. This moving zone is going. Who's going to be in the position? Advantage one. Shadow bomb. Is it going to be the week that he's going to qualify? He's holding the turbo building feature right now. Something like that. He would have the time to quickly replace it.
Player's build here, but is going to try to preemptively. Rogue Shark here now sitting with 2 eliminations, 54 points. He's
Changed very quickly. And speaking of elevation changes, the little patience, because he's not moving like crazy. He's constantly stopping, taking stock of what's around him. He gets a lot of loot there, another RPG too.
But gets Thwifo! Thwifo gets completely annihilated by Shark.
How the shadow bomb sometimes can be a little uncomfortable because you could get trapped in some of these boxes. You can't do anything about it. He did end up coming out of the shop down below.
No, the zone is rotating back. It looks to be in his favor. Top 3. He utilizes this low ground to hopefully clutch that victory royale.
Yeah, and right now, knocking them both into each other. I think that's a forced engagement right there. Note, Tuixi and Popfast are not going to fight all the way, and now Rogue Shark kind of put yourself in a little bit, making sure he gets through that tree, jumping up to make sure no storm ticks are going to get taken, but he is going to take some. Fortunately, not able to hit those little combat. In time again, we saw him take out Thwifo in the box, and then all the way to the end there, close range encounters. Rogue Shark knows how to do it.
He owned every single one of those builds. So when he used the RPG to knock the other player down, all he had to do was edit his ceiling. The player wasn't expecting it. He dropped in.
Up there. Can he end up in the top 6?
Time will tell, Bala. I can't wait to see how these next few games shake up the leaderboards. Anything can happen with the blue tactical shotgun there. He does have 1 elimination right now, but there are still 40 players alive, so there is a lot of room for him to move up.
Could definitely have a game where he's going to push himself back into that top 6. You have to remember, there's the format. Again, more cautiously, Klaus right now looking through his cone. Is this player going to make a move? Don't want to quite go too aggressive, because if you're Turpins, for example, just...
And what is that? 6 zones, so what, 10, 12 minutes possibly that you've just spent in this lobby, and now no placement points. And then I'm so sorry.
Unfortunate there, but Klaus really, I mean, sitting in that cone, looking exactly what Linane was doing. He had the foot knockout, Linane did, that was the case. And then he moved, oh my goodness!
Bala!
What is going
There are
on?
flies, and Landjock is holding a fly swatter right now. He has the drum gun just raining shots on these players. Had the other players that were stationary on the ground been paying attention to what was going on above them. Here we're back to Pistola. Now he is himself into a metal box with a cone to maybe just take a step back, reassess what's going on, and go forward from there.
I was panicking a little bit there because I thought he was going to come out of the shadow bomb. I'm pretty sure that was
Is that the same skin?
There, I think it is. Yeah, right, directly under. But that was the placement threshold. Top 25, you start getting 3.
Yeah, Zay
And
is at the
Pistola.
bottom there. You could be right.
Pistola also one of those players that came through the Winter Royale. That's where I first heard of him. Great performance there. See what he can do.
Not too great either, but anything can change in a split second. It takes 1 elimination on 1 person. Is he going to nail this one? He does. He gets he gets paint Jesus.
The window of opportunity there, he's gonna go down and decide, hey, I can knock this out. Can he do it? No, that player just connected directly to Pistola's builds.
Bala, so these top 10 are going to be in the second threshold for placement. Zayd just gets taken out by I blame leg. Zayd, I'm so sorry.
The 4-2, what a shot there. Gandhi goes down. Unfortunately for him, dab, dab, dab. Nope, not in this lobby. Pistola now in a top 4 situation. That he's gonna get held out, I believe. Yes, the other wall comes in, and that's it, I think, for you. Oh, are you doing it? The siphon is about to come in if he gets this. Yes, I blame lag goes down, so
unbelievable ending there. My gosh, Class just kept that high ground, let Hornet go down and take that engagement. All he had to do was clean up. Beautifully executed.
Beautifully executed indeed, and we can see the history of the game. I love these views.
Look at the top left.
These fossils.
What is
It looks like the entire base is build fighting each other. The entire server is build fighting each other. It's great.
That would definitely be cool. We are taking a look here at playing though. Top 25, so not very many players left in this lobby compared to some of the other ones that we've seen. Europe with 8, NA East with 6, and NA West with 2 as well. We are currently watching our NA East games. We're about just over halfway through.
I kind of feel like you deserve that, buddy, because that was top 25. You did. I think he was barely in that top 25. You got the 3 points, but you just threw away the rest of your game because you just wanted to get into his box.
Yeah, and sometimes that aggressive play really isn't the best option. You never know what you're...
I'm going to let you come through, actually. I'm literally going to bait you to come into my wall, or into my box.
Yeah, and you know what? Like, this is why I love watching these games, Bala, and I think you can attest to this fact as well. It's not just mechanically what goes on, but it's also about being able to outwit them as well.
That's for sure. The mind games go a long way. Spades is going to rotating with the impulse grenades. Courage had some nice things to say about the impulse grenades, but you do have to be very careful with them. On Spades, are you going to qualify for solos as well as duos? We already saw him qualify in the first week of duos. So he's going to New York, but is he doing it for solos?
We're gonna, and there it is. He pops it. So he did use the shields in his inventory to get up to the 100 shield.
He's looking for right now. You can see him going for that elimination, just like you said, Pookie, and then going down for the zone as well. Usually a combo that like they kind of fulfill the same role, but there's slight differences that make them still valuable. He didn't unfortunately pick up that one.
Oat is going to take 2 ticks of storm damage, but oh my goodness, did you see the turret get placed? I think Nighttime may have possibly panicked there and dropped the turret as opposed to an actual trap in his inventory. Always
not going to find value for the turret just then.
Nope.
Now, Baldy fighting against Horizon on high ground. Matrices just went down on low ground. There's 3 players next to each other right now. Baldy's going to join the fray as well. Each other. There's still a lot of horizontal space as Baldy takes out Frey.
So look at where the zone is headed, Bala. We are going to be going up the side of that mountain. Is the game even going to make it that far? Because we are in a 1v1 situation.
He's going right for it. The trap's coming in, but can he break it? Or he gets... That was the matter of seconds between that.
Yeah, we're going to definitely need to talk to Sundown to break that down for us afterwards because it all happened in a split. Just a glider redeploy and try and take the high ground from him.
I was going to say that was an interesting time to fight for height like this because it's still that half in, half out zone. Remember, you have a cap on your materials. You can only carry 500 of each type, right? So you can't spend too much because at this point you aren't really farming. Everything that you're going to get from materials is good.
Night plays Bala. I love him so much.
And what I think is really interesting is the way that he's peeking out of this box. Not only taking out the launch pad so nobody else can recycle it, make their rotation harder, but look at the stairs on the outside make it so that anybody looking in at this window
taking shots with stairs in front of his peak window like that, he is going to be at an advantage. We see Texi here just taking out, but he obviously does have something. We're going to have to wait and see if he pulls that out to utilize it. But 4 traps too.
It's a normal shield potion. He just
big shield. There we go. Perfect.
So 42 players now in this. Throughout the entire game, are they playing aggressively up to this circle? It really depends. But now this one is a tough one. There's a lot. Oh no!
Biggest free fall, no pun intended there, of his life. But lands in a tree, isn't going to have to work. Another player in a tree.
George of the Jungle impression right now. Macwin up in the tree. And it's funny because you don't want to be up then, and he's doesn't really worried about that advantage because people didn't realize that he was there. So
No.
the good fortune is in his.
We started this lobby in the 5th circle, 5th zone, and we were, what, 45 players? We are now down to 18.
Yep.
So that just shows how quickly things can change. We
Love this use of the redeploy, these short jumps to get your rotations in and get ahead of people and look back immediately. Look, he's not even really building. He hasn't used any of his. He's finding a lot of eliminations for it.
He's gonna have to be careful here, though. He doesn't have a lot left. He doesn't have any builds. And there it is, 5 players left, though, so we are in our last threshold before the final placement, which would be a victory royale.
Who just took out Arcos for it, is going to have a free rotation. All these players down below are going to struggle. You can see Tezzy, he sees you. No, Tezzy, he jumped over him at the last. Yes, here goes it. Starting to go off the side. He's going to start trying to 90 up. No, can you do it, Chris? Starting to make his date terrible as well as he's stuck down below and the drum gun is going to come. Is a good play there to position himself properly.
Getting a 1-point elimination not worth royale and getting him paid from him. Here the next game, take a breather.
So Vice is
Someone, this is you a heads up. Final game on the NAE.
a little there.
This is
We saw Zay Snoop. Who's the his name is
But